All right, guys, let's get this party started, dude. Anyway, there's been a lot of talk about this guy, Rakita Law. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm like the most educated on the guy. I've never actually heard of him before, but I've seen some. It's really sad, some of the information that I'm seeing. Seems like a pretty tough to climb. So I'm curious about it. This is like a rundown on him. So we're basically going to educate ourselves on this guy and what led to his downfall. This is from Cucumber Feet. Incredible. Somebody sent that to me in the Discord. Love the name. It's incredible. And yeah, it's called The Downfall of Rakita Law. I think I'm saying it right. That's the thing I'm most impressed by. Like I always say, guys, if any moment in this video resonates with you, timestamp it down below. It helps me out a lot. Thank you very much. And let's get this party started.
Pioneer. Rakita Law is one of the pioneers of the LawTube sphere. Host of the channel, Nick Rakita, and his legal team would expertly break down.
It is interesting to me that there's like so much... there's a lot of legal channels now. I think they really blew up during like the Amber Heard thing. I saw a lot of legal channels, you know, going pretty crazy during that. I wonder if that's when they blew up or if I'm just a big stupid idiot.
Found all of the most popular trials in real time, taking something that is very dense and obtuse and converting it into something palatable for the layman. But like so many...
Ah, yes, I'm the layman. I haven't heard that word in a long time. Can you give that to me in layman's terms, please?
For him, Nick would quickly slide down the pitfalls of stardom. Drugs, alcohol, women.
Is this him jerking a schmingle? Is that what that is?
All in front of hundreds of thousands of people watching live 7 nights a week. Or maybe 5. But why don't we take a step back and see how...
What, do you make that like his full-time job at a certain point? I mean, that would be silly because he's a lawyer, right?
How Nick managed to destroy his own legacy. In 2017, a podcast by the name of The Biggest Problem in the Universe, whose original cast was Dick Masterson and Maddox, had gone their separate ways. This was a particularly messy breakup, which spilled out into the streets via social media and would evolve into Maddox suing Dick Masterson.
Wow, I love these names. That's all I'm going to say. As immature as that sounds, I love these names.
This lawsuit was famous on the grounds that it was so poorly put together that the judge just ended up throwing it out because he didn't even really know what to do with it, saying, quote,
"Damn, that's a good lawyer, I guess."
"Oh, this complaint is such a mess. I can't address these issues because I can't specifically point out to what's being alleged." Fun fact, this abominable lawsuit would end up coining the term lawsuit, which is... it's like a lol cow, but for a legal proceeding.
Gotcha. Okay. I like that he explained that to me in internet terms, since I'm brain rotted, you know?
With the case becoming a giant meme amongst the legal community, Nick Rakita, a real-world lawyer based out of a small town in Minnesota, would create a YouTube channel posting a video...
Wow. How old is this? He looks so young here. The other version of him looks like Daniel Larson.
Breaking down the case. At this time, insert adult with a real profession who you wouldn't expect to have a YouTube channel to give you insider insight on insert culturally relevant thing in their profession was still a novelty. This would include the...
Yeah, and it is interesting. I mean, that is the transition of YouTube becoming like a more legitimized platform now. When you have more and more people with actual real-world knowledge and experience on particular topics talking about those particular topics. I just find that kind of interesting because YouTube really has become a more legitimized platform lately because of that.
The LawTube genre of channel, making Nick and his channel a pioneer in that sense. Nick's coverage of this lawsuit would be favorably received on the platform and would lead to old Nick being invited onto Dick Masterson's newly formed show, The...
I've never heard of this Dick guy either, man. I'm really just out of the loop on all these people, huh? Is it just me, guys?
Dick Show as a guest. This would, of course, instantly help Nick bolster a core audience online. From here, Nick began live streaming, getting his start by further breaking down the lawsuit in autistic detail. Out of the
autistic detail? What the hell? That's crazy, brother.
Gate, Nick had a fairly regular schedule and would eventually move to streaming nearly daily, according to Nick's post on...
Yeah, it's interesting because it sounds like if you really blew up over like one thing, I wonder what the longevity... Like, I wonder if, you know, I'm just wondering. But I wonder if part of the issue came in when, you know, after whatever suit this is no longer became necessarily like super relevant. I wonder if that, you know, led to the fall off, because YouTube is weird, man, and it takes a while to adjust to it. Like, truly speaking, if you're somebody who wants to do content, the biggest thing that you need to know is just that like you have to understand your ups and downs. because you're gonna have periods of like ups and downs, and if you let it stress you out, that's when your content becomes shitty. Like I'll tell you, like, you know, you go through experimental phases, and then like, you know, like it just is what it is. And you have to be okay with it and ready for it and like fine with it, because you'll stress out, because you're gonna have really good periods and you're gonna get lots of money and you're gonna do really well, and then you're gonna have low periods and you're like, why am I not hitting blah blah blah. It just happens. It is what it is, and it's good to be like, okay, what can I do to improve? But sometimes nothing. Sometimes you just need to do nothing. You know, sometimes you just need to be consistent and just keep uploading like regularly and decently, and push through the shittier, you know, view moments. Oh, I didn't get a lot of views on my videos for the past week. That's okay. Like, just hit consistently, because like when you do poorly on YouTube, there's still something to be learned from that. You still get to learn what people do and don't like. It's still feedback. You know, you want to look at it like a feedback perspective. So
Kiwi Farms, a website we'll get into a little later, he invented reading all super chats out loud, regardless of how much money was donated.
Invented it? What? Oh my god, he had so much impact on me. I don't do it because I'm tired of using the other service. Okay, interesting. He invented that. I didn't know that was an invention. Okay.
This, of course, is common practice by most smaller streamers nowadays, but was an innovative maneuver to help Nick quickly grow a connection with his fans. At least I'm under the assumption that this part of the Kiwi Farms post is correct. I actually couldn't corroborate.
Oh no, he's using Kiwi Farms for information. This guy's part of the alt-right pipeline. Ah, fuck me.
This any other place on
just fucking around
line, so take this with a grain of salt. Old Nick's first breakout video on the platform was covering Vic Mignogna's situation. Vic, a well-established voice actor, had been hit with SA allegations during the height of the Me Too movement.
Oh shit, he's the Dragon Ball guy? I feel like I vaguely heard of this. This is so weird.
These allegations had come just days after the release of the film Dragon Ball Super: Broly, in which he had voiced the titular villain. Or anti-hero. He voiced Broly is what I'm trying to say. This led to Vic.
I feel like they could have done so much better with the Broly character. I just don't understand how, and I haven't seen the newest one for Super, but anytime you watch it, it's just like nobody's surprised that they can go fucking Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan's supposed to be so legendary, and it's like nobody's shocked that Goku and Vegeta can go Super Saiyan. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that fucking weird to me? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not caught up. Power scaling is weird. I was reading some of the manga on TikTok. It's weird, right? And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, this just something so weird about this that's going on right now, because you have like, how are there people that are stronger than Goku and Vegeta still in any like meaningful capacity? I mean, these guys are fucking, what is it called? Super Saiyan God? No, that's the red one. They went Super Saiyan Blue. That's even better. What the hell's happening? You know what I mean? So that's just kind of my opinion on that. I don't know. It gets a little too crazy. I feel like Dragon Ball was the GOAT just because the power scaling was a little more normal. And then obviously the Frieza saga was the best too. After that, still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the Cell saga and the Buu saga, but it just kind of got weird. Now we're talking about interdimensional gods and shit. It's like, how the fuck did we get here? It's crazy to me, you know? I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Being blackballed from Hollywood and being dropped by Funimation, the American company which was in charge of the dubs, as well as from Rooster Teeth, where he had voiced a character on that network.
Damn.
On top of being dropped from or being recast in all his future voice acting jobs, he would also be banned from many anime conventions.
Did he actually do it, or did he just get fucking cucked for no reason? That would be brutal, man.
He was contracted to speak at. Vic denied all of the allegations being levied against him. Now listen.
Only because, like, you know, things can get a little crazy, I'll say sometimes. People can jump the gun sometimes on some of these allegations, I'm just saying. Especially with where things were kind of back then. Like, right at the Me Too movement, people were very sensitive, so they were pretty much affirming every single allegation. And it's good to listen, but, you know, don't necessarily over-affirm. You still need to get your facts and whatnot straight, but... I feel like sometimes I just don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sitting here saying that he did or didn't do it because I don't know anything about it. I'm just saying that that's a thing. Okay.
I don't know if Vic did it or not at the end of the day. He was specifically being accused of essaying women.
Oh, then who cares? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't know if Vic is in or out of the closet, but just listen to him speak for a couple minutes.
Where'd this come from?
I drew that.
You did this?
Yes. I drew that.
Oh, Dustin.
There is...
He might be a little gay. He might be a little gay. I'm just saying. That's not me saying it though. Somebody else said that.
No world where these allegations could possibly be true, even for a second. Also, he was on Alex Stein's show. I like Alex Stein, so I'm gonna trust Alex Stein.
Actually, well,
Be true.
Dustin.
There is no world where these allegations could possibly be true, even for a second. Also,
well, just to be clear, I don't know the extent of the sexual harassment case, but I will say, that gay guys will grab on women because they feel like they can because they're not attracted to them. You know what I mean? And sometimes that can be fun if it's consensual or whatever. But like I feel like sometimes gay guys will like grab, oh, I'm gay, so like they think they can touch women's boobs. So like even if he's gay, I don't know the specifics of the allegation. I'm just saying like there could be something there too. So just keep that in mind.
So he was on Alex Stein's show. I like Alex Stein, so I'm gonna trust Alex Stein on this one.
Now, this is the beautiful woman that created Trans Visibility Day.
That totally looks like the Penguin from Batman.
It is.
It looks
Okay, interesting.
exactly like Danny DeVito from Batman.
It is a Danny DeVito impersonator almost, but that is a beautiful woman, according to the government, and it's also the creator of Trans Visibility Day. So
This feels weird. This feels unnecessarily rude. I don't really understand what's happening right now, but okay.
she's a beautiful icon.
Non-woke anime
Okay. I don't know this context. Okay, whatever.
fans would also come to this conclusion, that this was nothing more than part of the Me Too hysteria that had grabbed a hold of the minds of testosterone-challenged individuals like some sort of virus in 2019. Nick
How did this video get like weirdly transphobic? Like I said, like it could be possible that we got very caught up in the Me Too movement and some allegations were being over-affirmed. Like we talk about that all the time. Like I think the most recent thing we talked about was like the Katie Book situation, like, full of shit. But this like got unnecessarily weird. Like I don't understand. Like why did this get like unnecessarily weirdly like right wing? Hey, what's going on? Aiden Paladin. What's going on, brother? One of the instances of harassment was he ate a candy with another voice actor's name on it and said, "I'm eating Monica." Ah, wow. Did he say Monica or did he say it 3 times fast? You know, say it to yourself 3 times fast. And you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? You'll know what I'm talking about. Either way, it's all right.
Nick would release a video coming to Vic's defense.
Was the person's name Monica, or was he being like, you know what I'm saying, dude? Because like sometimes, you know, I'm just hanging out with my buddies, and I'm just like, hey, what's up, my friend Monica? What's up, Monica? Like, what's going on? I have a friend named, you know what I'm saying? And then I get beat up by a black guy, piece of shit. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I guess the person's name was Monica. I'm being fucking stupid right now.
And at the end of said video, he promoted a GoFundMe for Vic to help pay for his legal fees. Fans of anime and justice
Don't f with me. I have the power of God and anime on my side.
would unite and donate over $262,000. And Nick would
Good for him, I
also
guess.
help Vic get set up with an
Oh, her name's actually Monica. Editor, cut that out. Cut out that rant.
attorney, Ty Beard. Vic and Ty would go on to sue Funimation and Rooster Teeth for defamation and tortious interference. But unfortunately, the lawsuit failed spectacularly. Many pointed
Oh, why?
the finger at Nick for recommending Ty Beard because Ty was a family friend of Nick's and who did not specialize in civil litigation.
Okay. I mean, maybe that has something to do with it, or maybe not. I mean, maybe it just was an unwinnable case based on the circumstances. Okay.
Either way, this would enter old Nick into the fray on the right wing of the culture war, opening him up to a new circle of collaborators, live streaming and podcasting with the likes of The Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, Yellow Flash Guy,
Oh, this guy that cries a lot. Heel versus Baby. I used to watch his WoW videos. He's a fucking weirdo, dude.
etc. His popularity and reach within and outside of the LawTube community would lead his fans into dubbing him the Pope of LawTube.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'd call Critical Drinker like a right wing guy, whatever. But you know, you fundamentally speaking, you do want to keep it. You want to be careful with who you associate with, because just because it might be like an increase in views now doesn't necessarily mean it's a productive usage of your platform, or doesn't mean that the association with the particular person or people is good. You know, I think it could curb your growth a little bit. It could push you into a circle you don't necessarily want to go into. It's one of the reasons why I'm pretty apprehensive about like really meaningfully associating with a lot of people. I'm just kind of chilling, doing my own thing. you know, because you really don't know. You really don't know. And sometimes it get a little bit of weird.
Though Old Nick's bread and butter would still be analyzing court cases on lengthy live streams. There are 2 periods where Old Nick saw the most growth, which was during the Kyle Rittenhouse and the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp trials. These 2 events would propel his channel to over 400,000 subscribers on YouTube alone. During the Rittenhouse trial, Old Nick would do daily streams with a
People are still crying about it because I said something about Kyle Rittenhouse in the Wendigo video being innocent. And people are like, no, you're wrong. He had no right to be there, blah, blah, blah. I don't even care about this kid, but like you realize his dad worked in that area, right? He was like an annoying, like a literal Boy Scout. Like he was an annoying little kid. I don't know. I don't know why I care. I don't know why am I responding to Kyle Rittenhouse shit? Oh, I guess we won already.
Panel of lawyers breaking it down like a black guy's reacting to rap music channel.
Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
Whoa! I'd smack a minor just real hard. You know what I'm saying, dude? Hard as I possibly could. Because who likes them? Annoying, you know? I'm not understanding the black guy thing though.
Rittenhouse trial, Old Nick would do daily streams with a panel of lawyers breaking it down like a black guy's reacting to rap music channel.
This is like a joke. Okay, it's like weird. It's like off-putting. It came out of nowhere.
Tired, trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
What the fuck?
The Rittenhouse streams proved to be extremely popular, with viewership peaking at over 100,000 concurrent viewers.
Oh my god, that's fucking banana boats, dude.
Which, if you're unfamiliar with the world of streaming, 100,000 concurrent viewers is insane. That's like A-tier level streaming. The other series of streams that blew up.
That's like S+ tier level streaming. I'd say like A tier level is fucking like 1,000 or 10,000. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Up Rakita Law was his coverage of the Amber Heard v Johnny Depp trials. Though this trial was placating to his core audience, since he and his entourage of legal associates would break down the trial from an expert's perspective, it also brought in a new fan base. By the very nature of the trial having an element of celebrity gossip to it, Nick, by all accounts, managed to wrangle in the wine mom demographic.
You don't want to go with that. That's like the same as the Trisha Paytas, the anti-Trisha Paytas audience. Okay, we had our whole Trisha Paytas arc. I'll tell you, some of these, and not everybody who consumes that content is a bad person. You know, if you consume it the way I consume content, and you're just being like a silly bitch, you know what I mean? That's cool. But some of these people are psychotic. Okay. You really got to be careful. One of, if not the most toxic audiences like that, like drama sphere. I remember one time I said Trisha Paytas wasn't that fat. And that was just a barrage of people telling me I'm stupid and that my wife is too ugly to be raped and like all these horrible things. Fucking shocking. You know, I don't know. I get not liking Trisha. But just the insinuation she's not really that fat. Set these people off, these fucking psychopaths. So you got to be careful, man. Like I said, you got to be careful with some of these audiences, brothers and sisters. Okay? You got to be fucking careful with these people. They're fucking crazy.
In July of 2022, Old Nick would be hit with his first suspension on YouTube, which lasted 10 days.
YouTube decided, in their infinite wisdom, to suspend me.
From what I gathered,
why? What did he do? I mean, they were knocking me with suspensions last year or 2 years ago too, and then they would like overturn most of them once you went to Twitter. It was just weird, the fucking shit that was going on.
They're on a stream not too long after the Heard v Depp trial. He was reviewing footage of the same case. One of the clips he had shown had been run through YouTube's Content ID system, leading to the media giant NBC issuing a strike on Rakita Law's channel. By the way,
they were abusing the copyright system. Who would have thought?
Nick handles himself and viewing content on his channel. I could almost guarantee that this for sure fell under fair use law, but
oh, for sure, especially when it comes to news. News is even like less restrictive. Like it's not allowed to be as restrictive because of the nature of it. So like absolutely would have fallen under fair use. I could just imagine. So
either way, NBC proceeded and YouTube would end up suspending his channel for 10 days. This is significant.
That's bizarre as hell, man. I hope YouTube's better with that shit.
Significant because for those who don't,
although Jubilee took that one video I did down, even though it was like I didn't even watch their whole video. It was like fucking 5 minutes worth of clips and they took it down. So they're fucking scumbags. YouTube doesn't do anything about it, so I guess that is what it is. Jubilee could suck my balls. Here's what's gonna happen, Jubilee. Okay, you know what? In a year, I'll be even more popular than I am now. And then you guys, oh, Papa God, you want to come on? No, on fucking principle, bitch. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck that shit, dude. Ain't gonna do nothing with you pieces of shit. All right. If we, I don't even know if we're gonna get that big. I don't know. But you know what? I do know. All right. And then you're gonna be like, oh, please. I'll be like, fuck you, dude. I'm gonna give him a stone cold stunner. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do.
Don't know, YouTube works on a 3 strikes and your channel's permanently deleted system. A few months after his
do you mean a based system? I'm just kidding.
suspension in September of 2022, Old Nick's political/cultural stances would embroil him in a feud with everyone's favorite content creator, Keffals.
Oh my god, I can't believe you'd show that transphobic picture of it. I'm just kidding. Interesting. I don't know this guy. I don't know who Rakita Law like started as, but I wonder if he became more and more conservative. Just based on the nature of those cases. Obviously, the Kyle Rittenhouse case, I feel like the normal take is like, yeah, it was just a kid who went over the lines and he was attacked by an aggressive pedophile who was there to cause violence, who had a history of going to these rallies and saying the N-word and whatnot. And then after that, people who thought it was an active shooter tried to do the right thing and stop Kyle, but he defended, like, right? They got really complicated and it's like sad, you know, and it was all that one guy's fault that, you know, started it. But it became so political that I wonder if that like pulled him a political audience of like very right-wing people, and then he slowly kind of just turned into that direction. You know what I mean? And he slowly got audience captured into going into that direction. I just wouldn't doubt it.
Nick's a free speech advocate, and at one time was a celebrated figure amongst Kiwi Farms.
Say it with an A. Okay. Figure.
Even having its creator
Nick was always libertarian. Okay, I have no idea. I don't know too much about him. Just you know, throwing out some words.
On his stream as a guest a few times. If you're unaware, Kiwi Farms originally had started out as a
Quickie Farms to harass Christian
forum site documenting lolcow legend Chris Chan. The original name of the site was Quickie Forums, with the CWC standing for Christian Weston Chandler, or his original name, Christopher Weston Chandler. If you're interested in Chris Chan lore, I did a 3.5-hour video essay on him, so go check that out if you want. I'm sure.
I think I'm on part 68 of the Christian thing. You know what I'm talking about?
It's playing on screen right now. The site would eventually morph into a forum celebrating the life and times of all lolcows. Now, I don't mean to paint over Kiwi Farms as all peaches and rainbows. The site is vigorously pro-free speech to the point that they won't remove posts where people are being doxxed.
Yeah, it can turn into a little bit of a doxing cesspool. Let's just be real.
They've also been tied to some tragic events, including being blamed for 3 people offing themselves and the Christchurch shooting. But
I wouldn't doubt it. Okay, I'm not saying the website's all bad, but seems like it's a breeding ground. So,
but I do admit that I don't know enough about Kiwi Farms to definitively put that kind of stank on them. It's very clear that Kiwi Farms has become the target of progressive liberals who use information as their tool, their favorite tool of warfare. So getting a straight picture of what the website is a little difficult. I'm sure it's not as bad as being made out to be on certain
probably not, but it's probably one of those things where when it is bad, it gets real bad. You know what I mean?
Popular mainstream liberal sites. But I think it's probably pretty safe to say that Kiwi Farms likes to harass.
I personally think that you guys should have made avocado farms. Seems a little bit more lucrative. I'm just saying, honest with you. You know, but hey, that's just me.
All cows. And if you're enjoying this video, consider subscribing to my channel and sharing it with 10 people. Because if you don't,
10 people, huh?
You'll be cursed with bad luck for 7 years or something.
Oh, I already got that, brother. I already got it.
Keffals attacked Kiwi.
I'm just kidding. I'm doing pretty well, actually. I'm feeling pretty good. I appreciate it.
Kiwi Farm.
I don't know why I said appreciate it, but I appreciate my life. That's what I meant.
With false allegations of her being doxxed by the website, which of course turned out not to be true.
I think it was from some other website, apparently, and she was just using Kiwi Farms because it was easier to go after, and she felt more secure in going after them. That's pretty much what that whole thing boiled down to.
Regardless, because she didn't personally like the forum talking shit about her, Keffals campaigned to have it shut down by targeting Cloudflare, a popular cybersecurity site. While these events were taking place in a retaliatory manner, Old Nick would go on stream and read the entire Keffals post on Kiwi Farms.
Oh, that's funny.
During the reading, he'd get to the part where there were screenshots of her tweets bragging about giving bathtub hormones to naive teenagers.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that stuff in that Mudahar video, and I reacted to. Maybe I'll try to put it in the description. I'll probably forget, though. You know, I don't know. Like I said in that, you'd have to go and look through my whole thing, but like I feel like I don't think Keffals is some kind of a groomer or something, but they certainly were very irresponsible, I think. You got to be careful when it comes to DIY hormone. I don't think anybody should engage in it. I mean, listen, I understand the rationale. Hey, there are people that have gender dysphoria and they don't have the like medical access to get it. Yada yada. I get it, but at the same time, it's like I think you should get diagnosed, especially a fucking kid. Kids should not be getting any DIY hormones. That's fucking insane. You know. So, yeah, man. It's crazy shit.
Unaware of Keffel's
hot take, am I right, guys? Hot take. You should get diagnosed before you start getting treatment.
insane actions, and being a father of 5 himself, Nick,
damn, that's a lot of cum,
would lose it and say this.
Who is apparently grooming minors on Discord and sending them HRT that he home makes in his bathtub without their parents' consent.
That's where you kind of lose me. It's okay to get emotionally provoked when you're starting to solve somebody trans that's the he. That kind of lose me a little bit. I don't find that's disrespectful to all trans. You could be disrespectful to Keffels. I don't care. She's a piece of shit. But you know, the general disrespect to trans people. I personally just don't fucks with it. You know, I love trans people. I've been jerking off to trans porn since I was 14. Was I groomed? I'm just kidding. Okay. Is it why am I? Oh, he just muted. Oh, it's his just no audio.
Get the fucking wall ready.
The what? What that means?
Because I have something to hang on it.
Many
okay.
would trace the death of old Nick back to August 27th.
Interesting.
2022. If you've noticed, I've been calling him Old Nick throughout the video. Somewhere down the line, as Nick's popularity and status grew, he began to lose sight of who he was as a person. A based right-wing lawyer who was preaching the importance of conservative relationships and family values. A trad husbando, if you will. That was the old Nick. The Nick we see locked up today is a complete 180 from where he started. It's almost like he's a different person. As I said on that fateful day in August, Nick opened a package on stream from a fan. The mysterious package from the
have anthrax in it.
nameless fan was a Chris Chan Sonichu medallion.
We were talking
Did he shove it up his ass or? Okay, sorry.
About last night. A Sonichu medallion has been passed to me. I don't know where this came from.
Again, I'm not describing the entire Chris Chan lore here, but collectively his fan base believes that this medallion was cursed, and like in
okay.
Ingesting a small grain of polonium-210, Nick's body would begin to disintegrate.
Oh, okay. I'm sitting here. I'm like, how is this? It's not relevant. It's just like a silly little conspiracy theory as to why this guy went fucking crazy. Okay.
From the inside.
Incredible.
Realistically, though, there are many factors that are in play, in symphony with each other, that are bringing Nick to the lowest point in his life.
Probably just fame in general, man. It rots your brain a little bit, brothers. Fame will rot your brain. So.
New Nick has a drinking problem. He's often, if not always, drinking on stream and would get pretty wasted publicly on a regular basis. Alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if he had some kind of like predisposition to drinking beforehand, and it just kind of got worse because of, you know, being an internet guy. You know,
being a content creator is a bit of a double-edged sword. If consumed in a
the baldo comes later. What's that? What that means?
Well-paced manner, I think, like being drunk in a social
Andrew Tate, who's the baldo
situation, loosens you up, makes you more confident, and lowers your inhibitions. But when you let it slip out of your hands and the liquor begins to take control of you, it takes you to pretty dark places. And
yeah, I feel that, man.
And for
I've been to Compton. Yeah, listen. This is another thing. You know, I feel like one of the worst things that can happen to you, it sounds so silly, is that you blow up as a content creator really quickly. I just feel like you get so much attention and it's overwhelming, and then you could like lose some attention. I don't know. It's just crazy, man. You know, unless you have like an actual, you know, this is one of the things. Unless you have like a legitimate manager, you know, like the olden days with celebrities, I feel like you're kind of fucked if you blow up too fast. That's just me. It's so difficult to navigate everything. Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful about blowing up really quickly.
Content creator, this means it's also being done publicly as well. It's a dance. Some can, some can't, and Nick falls into the latter camp. If you're unfamiliar with addiction, it's not an overnight thing. You don't generally drink your first beer and then directly go on a 3-day coke bender, which
That's true. I didn't just wake up and was not able to fit inside of a normal airplane seat. Just kind of hard work and dedication. got me here, you know?
Abruptly ends when you
I'm just kidding. I could fit in an airplane seat sometimes.
drive your 2011 Chevy Tahoe into a pregnant lady, hypothetically speaking, of course. These things happen over time. Red flags will pop up here and there, and as time goes on, these flags will continue to appear at an exponential rate. If you don't address these issues early on, then you can find yourself drowning in a sea of red flags, like opening the doors and
As he always drink on streams, fans even wrote songs about it. Oh, so he apparently had like he had an alcohol issue in the beginning, and maybe it just got worse as time went on, or maybe since did he quit his traditional job to do YouTube? Because maybe since he had less restricting factors in his life, he kind of just like gave into alcohol. Because that's one of the things. Like when I work for myself, so like, you know, I can come on to stream whenever I want. It's more difficult to be structured. The easiest job ever in the entire world. I'm just saying, structure wise. There's not as much. You create your own structure. So, I mean, if that was one of the problems, is that he just no longer had any structure being created, that could, I mean, that could certainly be it.
The Shining, and eventually you can lose all sense of where your baseline is. Nick at this time hasn't passed that threshold just yet, but I say all this to say,
get the fucking wall.
That was a really weird thing.
I feel like I would go and find a wall. I'm gonna get a wall. That just seems like difficult
to say. I don't totally understand if there's some kind of inside joke here, or maybe it's a term, a phrase that he uses quite often. But if I'm just separating this in and of itself, it was a weird thing to say. But I don't think it was.
Devon, get the tables. Yeah, he stopped practicing law for YouTube, and also got into harder stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. Sounds like a mixture between the money and the fame, baby. It's terrible stuff. You know, it happens to the best and worst of us. You know? The worst of us.
As a death threat, which was being claimed it was.
I really think I got like extraordinarily lucky with the trajectory of my career, because like I know I've had like you know, bands and stuff like that, but I feel like it happened so early, and I was able to like change, and I've been like decently grounded. I feel bad for some of these other people, because it's just like there's so much going on. I just couldn't imagine, man.
At its core, I think what he was trying to say is that he just doesn't like Keffals and just wants to get her out of his life, out of his purview.
No, I think he wanted her to die, right? Like, I don't think nobody's that stupid enough to fall for this reframing, right? Like, it sounds like he's a very right-wing person. He bought into the the trans people are groomers thing. I kind of get it with Keffals' stuff situation. I don't think that she's a groomer, but like, I mean, some of the shit's like weird as fuck. And you know, there's like animosity there that wants to come out, and now it feels justified to come out, right? That's kind of how I interpret it more than anything else. I'm not sitting here saying he's like the worst person in the entire world. I'm just saying that's what it comes off as, I think, to any normal person that like is consuming this you know, situation. So
hanger on the wall, so to speak. But Keffals, on the other hand, would claim that this was a death threat, or at least a call to violence.
Yeah. It's probably, yeah.
She'd use her bathtub hormone taking.
He said get the rope. What do you mean? I was just, no shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's no critic. It's a fucking call to violence. What the hell?
Teenage botnet to mass flag the video, getting Rakita Law hit with his second YouTube strike within a 1-year period.
What did you?
I mean, he shouldn't have threatened to. I mean, it was a threat, right? Like, we're not stupid. You know, you could even say I agree with it. I don't agree with threats, but like if you're like, oh, you might not care, that's fine. But it was a threat. Like, let's not like gaslight ourselves here. That'd be silly goosery.
You do, Nick. Oh well, that's the mystery, isn't it? What did I do? Well, I can tell you what I did not do. I did not call for violence or organized harassment against any individual or group of individuals at all.
Then, less than a month later, on October the 5th, 2022, Nick would get his third and final strike.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck? What the fuck? Damn, I'm so fast. You think you try to be more careful after that? Like, when I get my strikes, I try to be, like, extraordinarily careful, you know? Sometimes you just gotta take a back seat.
Getting his channel terminated.
What did he do that time?
Forever. Keffals trolls, not being pleased with Nick's channel only getting a second strike, decided to attack him IRL, using his law firm as a vector for attack. They would submit ethics complaints to the bar in an attempt to get Nick disbarred and no longer able
oh my god, that's horrible,
to be a practicing lawyer. These complaints are not submitted anonymously though, so Nick was able to find the submitters' identities of these 45 fake ethics complaints, and then would go on a live stream that night and quote dox them.
Oh, okay. I see what happened there. All right. Damn. You know, I get it. I understand that, like, how he's feeling. You know, people are trying to go after his business, but like that's one of the things we always, like, people talk about power dynamics, which exist as like content creators and all that. But people don't really talk about like the dynamic of when you're a nobody, how much damage you could do to somebody that has like a name. Like, you can come on the internet and lie about anything that you want if nobody knows who you are, and you'll get away with it. It's just the reality of the situation. Okay, so don't do it to me though, guys. Go do it to my biggest enemy. I'm just kidding. All my biggest enemies are quitting YouTube. Anyway, all jokes aside, I don't have any enemies. Okay. Anyway, that's one of the things, and like this feels like, you know, yeah, you know what, fuck them, I'm going to do this. But not only does it not matter too much because they're like a nobody, but I mean, you're putting yourself at risk. And one of the things people really need to get around in their head is like, listen, it is not worth hurting yourself to hurt other people. It's just not. You know what I mean? Like, imagine somebody cut you off and you're like, I'm gonna fucking T-bone them. I get it. I want to T-bone them too. Especially if it's a woman driving. No, I want to T-bone somebody too, right? We all get kind of angry. I don't want to do, but you get my point. Like, that hurts you. You literally get physically hurt. And so, like, you really have to be careful. You know, you have a business. So these people lost nothing by doing what they did to you. And now he lost seemingly everything. You know? He should have just went this way in the right. Yeah, okay, so it's a dumb move as a content creator, but also filing false bar complaints is legal. Sure, absolutely. But like, where are those people at? Where is he at? Right? My thing is that this is what the provocateurs like Keffals like to do. What they like to do is they like to be they like to do things that are wrong, very wrong, and then they hope you escalate so you seem more wrong. That's the goal. That's the idea. That's the end game there, is to make you look like you're fucking crazy. Because you retaliated, because they were like trying to hurt you as a person and as a content creator, and it's just not productive for you. Like, those are the times in your life where you have to like really come to the conclusion of like, yeah, it's not worth my entire platform to retaliate to these pieces of shit. You know,
say that in quotes because doxing them it didn't happen. They gave up their information publicly to submit these bogus ethical complaints against them to try.
Doxing isn't, from my understanding, it's not just like, oh, I'm the first person to tell somebody this is their name. It's also signal boosting it. So it probably would be considered doxing. Generally speaking, like, as a creator, like when I'm looking at a YouTube perspective, like, I can almost appreciate a hard stance against doxing. So I kind of get it. But again, like, you know, he should have known better. I feel bad for him because I can understand the anger, but he should have operated with that one a little bit more carefully, especially with already having 2 strikes. Because those strikes will fade as time goes on. They do fade. It takes like 6 months per strike. And now they're at a system where you can take a test and they'll get rid of them. But he really was just not being very careful. You got to be more careful, you know?
Try and take his livelihood away from him. So in fact, this was not doxing at all. In any case, Keffals' troll army would then mass flag his channel for doxing, awarding him his 3rd and final strike, getting his channel deleted forever. Well, until there was a massive backlash online and YouTube miraculously reinstated his channel, putting
good
him
for
back
them.
online. Prior to his reinstatement,
I guess good for them. Okay, cool.
Nick knew his channel growth on the website could not be guaranteed and had already been multicasting and uploading his videos to alt tech platforms like...
Yeah, I mean, that's generally a good idea. I don't do it, but I just use YouTube streaming. I don't know. It's more of like an audience thing. I like the audience, you know? So.
Odyssey and Rumble. During the period that his YouTube channel had been taken down and deleted forever, old Nick would ink a non-exclusive deal with Rumble to ensure his future as a content creator. On the outside, this could be seen...
Yeah, you know, these other places are cool because they give you alternative like pathways to be able to monetize, which is definitely great. But then sometimes it seems like the only people who gravitate towards those are more degenerate type people, you know what I mean? So sometimes the audiences aren't great. Like, people have to, you really should keep in mind the audience that you are the audience too. It's not just the platform. It's like, what's the audience of the platform, if that makes sense. You know, you want to make sure that you're in a good audience as well. Like, that's why I like YouTube. It's like a rounded audience, where like Twitch was a little too you know, young guys. I love young boys, but No, it's more rounded on like YouTube. So, you know, Rumble, I imagine it's just some of the more, you know, degenerate leaning type people. So
Seen as a smart business move, but on the inside, Nick's life was completely out of control. Not unlike YouTube's 3-strike system, I believe Nick's downfall happened in a similar manner. His first strike as a human being would be his public alcoholism. Not saying that doing it privately is any better, but doing
it is actually, just to be clear, if you do it privately, at the very least, you know it's wrong. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's that shame factor. I call it productive shame, right? Like if you have a productive amount of shame associated with a bad behavior, you know, you could at least be like, yeah, you know, at least, you know, a little bit better, right? That's it.
Doing it publicly surely expedited the process.
Fucking boss.
As Nick's battle with his demons got worse, he'd famously go on a 30-minute rant about a Kiwi Farms user / fan of his, who we will call John. For context, John wanted to off himself.
Like John, like the Asian guy, or just like John, like my sperm donor?
And reached out to Nick for help. Privately. Nick would detail this interaction on stream, making fun of John for being a degenerate loser.
Some of these Kiwi farmers, some of these commentators, not only do I know them, do I know their failures? Do I know their social security checks? Oh man, I cannot imagine being in the place that this man is.
Oh, listen, okay. People will reach out to me sometimes for like advice and like tell me personal things that are like very personal, and I will just usually not talk back to them because I feel like that's a pretty firm boundary there. It's like a bit a little bit bizarre. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too personal with people I don't really know. But what the fuck is this? This is like crazy that he's making fun of somebody for expressing a frustration to you. What the fuck?
That he has to go to a YouTube streamer to beg for a shred of attention. Say, please, Rackets, I love you. I love you. I love you. Begging is embarrassing. I love you.
What the hell is wrong with you, dude?
My family hates me. I can't get a job. I'm so mentally handicapped. I can't do anything. I want to die. I want to put a bullet in my mouth, but I can't afford a gun. Texting me this.
Why are you making fun of this guy? What the fuck is the matter with this dude? Jesus Christ. Wow. What a scumbag. Holy shit. Like I said, like I will not respond to people who say like supercharged things like that in my DMs. I get it. But I mean, this guy he was like reading through it and he's like, "Oh, this is funny to me. Let me make fun of this guy." It sounds like a dude that's down on his luck, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not your responsibility to take care of that person, but at the same time, like, it's also not your responsibility to bully this person. Or, you know what? Maybe I don't get it.
By the way. I'm like, hey, holy shit. Brother, you want to kill yourself? Like, that's not good. No, I deserve to die. Well, I mean, probably, but seriously, no, that's not good.
Okay.
Can you buy an Uber and go to the hospital? No, I can't afford an Uber. You can't afford an Uber? Like $8. Man, that is embarrassing, right? I'm such a piece of shit. My family hates me. Nobody loves me. I'm just going to kill myself. You're messaging me. You're texting a YouTuber. Holy, oh my God, man, that's embarrassing. Please don't kill yourself. First of all, you can't afford the bullets. You've already expressed that. You can't afford the Hardys that would kill you either. You're just you. You're just a useless pile of garbage. You can't afford an Uber to the hospital. Have you tried calling 911? No. I can't spell. I'm Korean. Literally just 911. No. How far are you from the hospital? 4 miles. Why don't you walk towards the hospital and then call 911, tell them where you're walking? Because you cannot do it. Oh my God, man.
Now, listening to this, John clearly was / is in a very low place, but he wasn't.
Yeah, but this is fucking fucked up, bro.
Seriously about to off himself. By Nick's recanting, it seems like it was just a call for help. I don't 100% agree with all of Nick's sentiments, but there's some that I do in this clip.
I don't think I agree with any of his sentiments. Like, listening to that, it sounds like this guy's making a lot of excuses why maybe he can't better his life, and I get that. And I understand the frustration associated with that. Just don't talk to this guy. Don't associate with this guy. Don't if you're not going to, like, listen, a lot of times when people threaten that kind of behavior, it's for attention. That doesn't mean that like the attention isn't needed. Sometimes people need the attention. I get it. Like, it's very complicated. I'm not going to get into the specifics, whatever. You just have to, it's okay for you to just not want to feed into it or play into it or however you want to, you know, interpret it. But this is obviously bizarre and irresponsible.
If John really needed help, he could have walked to the hospital like he said. Part of this exchange was probably this kid trying to get the attention of his favorite creator because he believes they have some weird parasocial relationship.
Maybe. I don't think that you publicly shame somebody for that, though. That's fucking weird as hell, man.
I get that point, but at the same time, making that info public, even if there's no way to attach this story to a real person, well, John would still know who you're talking about. He essentially publicly humiliated this poor kid.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's okay. Logically, does anybody know who this kid is? No, probably not. But like that's not how it feels. I mean, you're talking about somebody in an emotionally vulnerable place, clearly, if they're going to reach out to a YouTuber about this stuff, who they're in an emotionally vulnerable place, and then you go and you make fun of them. So not only are you making fun of them, but these people are like, oh my God, everybody knows my shit. Even if they really don't know your shit, it's not exactly the easiest like mental boundary to put up of like, oh, they don't really know who I am, especially if you're in that really low vulnerable place. So this is just really fucked up though, man. This is horrible.
And even if his cry for help was just that, then this public flogging in John's mind could have led to something much more darker. His second personal strike as a human would be Nick turning his back on his old audience. There's a great video by a creator named The Dragon's Treasure who was a fan of Nick's and even managed to—
what is he, a Dragon Ball Z guy?
grow his own channel through Nick, as well as his IRL business selling tea by advertising on Nick's live streams. If you want something more—
what is it, like the Quartering who sells coffee or whatever?
More granular than I'm doing, I'd suggest checking out his video and his channel. I'll leave a link in the description. After the Heard v. Depp trial, Nick adopted a Wine Mom fan base and would begin tailoring—
Wine Moms are the worst, bro. Wine Moms are like the same as edgy teenage boys, okay? I'm just kidding.
His content—
that's non-binary TikTokers are the same as edgy teenage boys.
Towards this new crowd while pushing out his old fans. His video and streams would move away from law content and into more internet drama. He would even begin reviewing his deviant sex toys.
Okay, I was gonna let's pretend we didn't hear that for a second. Wow, incredible. I was gonna say, like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with like shifting a little bit, like drama. Listen, I used to do like politics, now I do drama. I enjoy it more. It's for me drama / social issues, but it's like less. There's not like it's not that deep. That's why I enjoy it. It's not super serious, not that deep. We used to do a lot of like Predator stuff, and it like would burn me out mentally, bro. It fucked me up. So like, I like doing this kind of shit. I enjoy the drama stuff. Sometimes we get serious. So I'm not against like the shifting of your content. I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea, especially since I can't imagine like after Kyle Rittenhouse and Amber Heard, like what has there really been? I guess the Andrew Tate trial. I don't know if he covered that, but like his audience is so far right that if he said anything like intelligent or nuanced about it, he would have lost his audience anyway. So, like I mean, like what else was there for him to really cover? I guess so. Maybe he's like, yeah, you know what? Let's just do this.
So here you go. This is the Baldo, and
the
this
Baldo.
Number, this is Drexel's. This is unused, but this number you got to do and shove your balls in there.
What? Why are you doing this, my brother?
And it's really terrifying that you might snap them shut.
Nick, as I said, portrayed himself as a, for a lack of better term, good Christian boy with a family of 5. But
like all good Christian boys, he was a sexual deviant.
with his new half-drunk, horny older woman crowd, he'd begin to drop the veil on his personal life, letting his freak flag fly, and commit his third and final personal strike as a human, being public about his sexual deviancy. Well,
yeah, see, I could pull it off. Because I'm not a Christian. Well, I love God, but you know what I mean. I also, I don't have that type of audience that expects that from me, because I'm not fucking I'm not like a super wacky Christian guy. You know.
Well, in a grander sense, I think actually his next strike would have been oversharing, which is a common trait for people that become lol cows when they share too much of their personal lives, when they're too vulnerable.
Yeah, true. I agree with that. I mean, I like to be a little silly, but like there's still boundaries that are maintained. I mean, people go a little too crazy. I think a big part of being Lolcow is just not being self-aware, right?
And then people take advantage of that. I really mumbled through the word vulnerable. Please don't hate me. I can't talk. I'm a big mumbly boy. For instance, these Wine Mom fans would DM Spicy.
They remind me of Noah Sampson for a second there.
To Nick through his locals, which is like a Red Pill Patreon, which he then shared with other subscribers on his locals. Again, this would be seen as a complete 180 from the person he previously was by his old fans. Kiwi Farm accounts would use the power of anime and autism to find out that Nick and his wife Kayla had gone to hedonism in Jamaica.
What does hedonism mean? What that means? Is that like an event?
A drug-fueled orgy for middle-aged white couples. This
Whoa! Why would I go if I can't get down with the swirl, if you know what I'm saying, bro? The hell is that?
Would lead to Nick revealing that he and his wife are swingers. Kayla would also post
I'm so surprised.
Spices to his locals for all of his fans to see.
Jesus Christ!
Nick and Kayla would even begin to transition their marriage into a throuple.
Oh my God. Oh, it's so weird. Okay. He more or less is responsible for popularizing LawTube. The viewers are just interested in cases. Interesting.
The Steel Toe Morning Show is a live stream which was previously hosted by a married couple, Aaron and April M. Holt. Friendly with Nick and Kayla, they had gone to their place to hang out and party. This whole situation seems extremely messy. Aaron and April had been having marital problems and both of them seemed to be heavy drinkers on top of that. I say all this to say after the trip to the Rakitas, Nick had introduced April to cocaine and Molly and ketamine. You know, like the fun stuff. April decided to take a break from Aaron and stay with the Rakitas, effectively breaking up their marriage.
I mean, their marriage was probably broken up anyway, but Jesus Christ, the lore goes fucking crazy, dude.
Also, to be clear, I'm just assuming that this turned into a throuple. I don't have any like hard evidence of that, but
I'm sure he has some hard evidence. Although with all that coke, I don't know if he's gonna still be getting hard from that.
Come on. And all of this leads to Nick's most recent stream, which
is this where he was jacking off on stream or some shit?
I'm sure you've all seen the clip of, mainly because I had it at the beginning of the video. Nick was clearly so wasted that he tried to balance himself out with cocaine, only to become
some downers and some uppers, baby. You know, that's something.
Become a sloppy, blacked out mess. At one point, he even seems to be jerking off.
Wow. Maybe he just has a real bad itch he's just trying to scratch, you know? Holy fuck, what a weirdo.
Why is my camera still on?
Whether or not
has this guy ever considered not streaming every day, or what's going on with that?
He managed to goon stain is still up in the air, but I'd be impressed if his dick still worked under that level of intoxication.
Well, the good news with all this is that everyone loves a good comeback story. All right, he already got the come front. He's jacking off. Now it's just time for the comeback story. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful stuff.
Crazily enough, as of me recording this, that clip only happened 2 nights ago, and as of just a few hours ago, Nick, Kayla, and April have all been arrested on drug charges and firearm possession.
Wow. Hey, listen, you gotta hit your lowest low to get to your highest high. You know what I'm talking about, guys?
It's too early for more details at the time. I just need to self-correct on a couple things here. Since I recorded this, the arraignment for this case has already happened. So through that, we learned a lot more information. It turns out that somebody contacted the police about the throuple on the 16th.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Was that after this live stream? Is that what they're saying? Because, I mean, I could kind of understand like a wellness check or something, especially if you're a fan of his.
Days before his coked out goon stream. So it seems like this case was already in the works, meaning the stream might be unrelated. During
Maybe. Or maybe that was what the police or whatever felt like they needed to really pull the trigger on it, you know?
Nick's arraignment, he would represent himself being charged with 3 counts. 1 count of possession of 25 grams.
Well, probably don't want to hire a drugged up lawyer to do your shit. Or be a drugged up lawyer. Because that's probably not the best representation you can get.
Grams or more of coke or meth. And if you know anything about coke or meth, that's a lot. I mean, it's almost a pound. I'm pretty sure that this crosses the line into intent to distribute, which is why he's being charged with
almost a pound
meth. And if you know anything about coke or meth, that's a lot. I mean, it's almost a pound.
Wait, what?
himself being charged with 3 counts. 1 count of possession of 25 grams or more of coke or meth. And if you know anything about coke or meth, that's a lot.
I think it's about...
I mean, it's almost a pound.
I think it's almost a 16th of a pound. Isn't like 32 grams in an ounce? Yeah, 28 grams in an ounce. Okay. So it's an ounce. You had an ounce on them. I don't know what intent to sell would be considered, but...
I'm pretty sure that this
But you know what? I also don't know math. I'm white. Okay.
crosses the line into intent to distribute, which is why he's being charged with a felony, carrying a maximum sentence of 25 years in jail and up to a $500,000 fine.
That's brutal, man. How the mighty have gone less mighty.
The second count is possession of a firearm in the vicinity of drugs and children. This is just a misdemeanor, carrying a
It's just a misdemeanor to have a gun in front of a kid? That's fucking crazy, dude.
maximum sentence of 1 year minus 1 day and
like an
$1,000 fine. And the final count is endangering his children because of the drugs and the firearms. This is also a misdemeanor and also carries a maximum sentence of 1 year minus 1 day and a $3,000 fine. Nick was let out on a $50,000 bond under the conditions that he doesn't drink or do drugs or have firearms. To be clear, the bondsman will cover the 50, with Nick putting something up.
Are you saying that he's not allowed to have fun anymore, dude? Wow. Is it worth it, guys, to not have fun anymore? Put me in jail for life, brothers. I want to have fun.
Like his house for collateral, and he'll only need to pay 10% of that to get out of jail, which is $5 grand. Towards the end of his hearing, we do get some bombshell news, with Nick asking the judge if he could speak to his clients, aka Kayla and April.
She looks like the girl from Saturday Night Live. You know what I'm talking about?
Meaning he, at least for the arraignments, wanted to represent them as their lawyer, as well as them being his co-defendants. But that's not even the bombshell news. The bombshell is that the state informed the court that April had been released earlier that morning, meaning she never had an arraignment hearing, and that there's now the possibility that
she snitch on him?
That she cut a deal with the state, snitching on Nick and Kayla in exchange for a lighter sentence.
Damn, she snitched, dude. That's why you can't trust that side pussy, dude.
Was granted the chance to speak to his wife as her lawyer, and clearly just instructed her on exactly what to say. Damn. She was charged with the same 3 counts and had the same bail conditions. I don't know.
At least it sounds like she didn't out her husband. So God bless her, dude. Ride or die, baby. Ride or die, brothers. That's what I'm saying.
What the situation at Nick's house is at the moment, and if his 5 kids were taken away by child.
How the fuck you have 5 goddamn kids, man? Jesus. You know, in my opinion, you know, all the craziness aside, God bless them for being swingers. Only because I feel like you got 5 kids and you still want to be together. All they just want to do is spice it up a little bit with some side cooch. I kind of respect that. You know, they're like, you know what? I still love you, but let's just spice things up for both of us. Because I would never want to sleep with another woman unless I was with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like that would make the experience. It would be weird without it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I kind of respect that. The fuck is this staff? The fuck? So I get that though. That's interesting.
Protective services. It's very possible, but it's too early to tell at the moment. But I can say things are not looking good. Nick and his wife and April's alcoholism, content decisions, and sexual degenerate.
Hey, what is she gonna say? He groomed me into doing drugs as a grown woman. Everything's fucking grooming now. Is that what the fuck just happened? Is that something that they're saying? I'm being stupid.
Liberal elite lifestyle would shatter the image of the quaint.
Wait, what?
Decisions and sexual degenerate liberal elite lifestyle.
Liberal elite lifestyle, dude. Come on, you gotta be that silly.
Services. It's very possible, but it's too early to tell at the moment. But I can say things are not looking good. Nick and his wife and April's alcoholism, content decisions, and sexual degenerate liberal elite lifestyle, which
I find that funny because, like, let's not pretend that it's only liberals engaging in degeneracy. You think that fucking conservatives aren't doing this shit all the time? Of course they are. Of course they're doing the same fucking dog shit, acting like silly little gooses all the time, right? Okay, I would argue it's the conservative Christians doing more of this fucking degeneracy, you know, behind the doors. They're just like, no, we would never do that. Shit, get the fucking liberal elite lifestyle. Get the frick out of here, bro.
Shattered the image of the quaint, rural couple to the core audience, who began to find their entertainment elsewhere. His disconnect
Yeah, politician lifestyle. There you go. That's a good way to put it.
from old Nick and his public degenerate behavior over the years would take this once Kiwi Farms golden boy and turn him lolcow, even winning lolcow of the year in 2023. It's a
Wow. Wait, hold on.
sad boy and turn him lolcow, even
Who's on this list? You're not. I'm gonna maximize it for myself. Dylan Mulvaney, Ethan Ralph. I don't know who most of these people are. Patrick Sean, Austin Curtis, Nikita. That's not Cyrax. I know that person. Keffels. I get that. Okay. Interesting list.
winning lolcow of the year in 2023. It's a sad state to see, man. Like just a much beloved content creator in the space being torn down by
those goddamn liberals, those fucking liberal elites tearing down my Rakita. Fucking ridiculous. I can't jerk off to this guy no more.
You know, drugs, alcohol, and women, like we've seen so many times in the past.
Yeah. Well, no, my priest did drug, alcohols, and little boys, but you know, close enough.
I think the moral of this story at the end of the day,
yeah,
is don't mess with Kiwi Farms.
Okay, interesting. Certainly an interesting video.